Angry Democrats slinging mud during a heated Russia hoax hearing on Capitol Hill. Special Counsel John Durham testifying and trying to tell America that the FBI put their thumb on the scale and had no business investigating the Trump campaign. Durham calling for accountability.
As we said in the report, they cannot be addressed solely by enhancing training or additional policy requirements. Rather, what is required is accountability, both in terms of the standards to which our law enforcement personnel hold themselves and in the consequences they face for violation of laws and policies of relevance.
But Democrats didn't care about the facts and overwhelming evidence of bias at the FBI. Instead, it was attack, attack, attack.
Mr. Durham, your report reads like a defense of the Trump campaign and an attack on Hillary Clinton because that's exactly what it is. Donald Trump wanted you to investigate the investigators to show the deep state conspiracy, but you never found one.
You had a good reputation. That's why the two Democrats supported you. But the longer you hold on to Mr. Barr and this report that Mr. Barr gave you as special counsel, your reputation will be damaged.
My concern about my reputation is with the people who I respect and my family and my Lord. And I'm perfectly comfortable with my reputation with them, sir.
So when you say you're not aware of evidence of collusion in the Mueller report, it's because you apparently haven't read the Mueller report very well.
Don't adjust your television. You just saw the king of the Russia hoax himself, Adam Schiff, grilling Durham. Speaking of which, the House holding a vote to censure the disgraced congressman for pushing debunked claims of collusion, but he doesn't seem fazed.
This is a badge of honor driven by extreme MAGA members of the House and Donald Trump threatening Republicans with retaliation if they don't vote on this bogus resolution. This says that I'm effective. They go after people they think are effective.
Judge Jeanine Pirro, did you learn anything new from the Durham hearing today?
Well, I didn't learn anything new from the Durham hearing other than the Democrats continue to be delusional in their determination to make it look as though there is still a Trump-Russia connection. And Durham couldn't have been more clear with evidence we already know to be the case that there was no Trump-Russia collusion. And the amazing part of it is he said there was no basis, in fact, to even begin the investigation. I don't know if you remember, but way back in the beginning, they kept saying, what was the basis for the investigation? What date did you start this investigation on? And the Dems were very coy. They would never come up with it because they had no facts, no basis, no complaint. Now, I think that Durham is absolutely correct when he says that this is, it's not about enhancing, it's not about changing the rules, it's not about training, it's about truth and honesty. You don't need to change the rules. You just can't lie. You can't be a McCabe or a Strzok and lie. You can't have confirmation bias where you believe something to be true, and that's really giving them a pass. They created it. They knew they created it. All of them were in on it. And Brennan, I know in one of my books, I talked about him as the chief scum in the deep state. Brennan is the one who knew and spread it around to everyone else. And who is that everyone else? They're still on television. You've got Brennan, Clapper, you've got Strzok and McCabe. They're on television, and they're saying, you know what, this is all about protecting Trump. This has nothing to do with Trump other than exonerating him. And it's got nothing to do with indicting Hillary Clinton because nobody's going to indict him. But the truth is the people who made it up, the people who told Biden and Obama that they were making it up, that they were going to destroy this country and have everyone at each other's necks, got away with it. And we suffered from all of the backlash.
And when Brennan found out it was a Clinton conspiracy, he tells Comey, and then Comey keeps that information from crossfire investigators.
Yeah, and one of the things that Durham reported, and this was under questioning, I believe, by Jim Jordan, was that the lawyer, when they're interviewing him, when he finds out about this, he's so upset that he had to leave the room. He went out and he said he was almost near tears in terms of frustration, embarrassment, anger. And they're like, oh, sorry. And like, no, actually, this really matters. A word that Durham used repeatedly was that the findings that he had were sobering. And then he used a word that's what's needed is accountability. And I think it's the accountability part that's like not happening. I don't see it happening. And I don't know if even anybody on either side would be satisfied with accountability. The left has decided that they think the DOJ and FBI are biased against them. The right thinks that the FBI and the DOJ are biased against the right. So I don't know, actually really don't know how you deal with that. Durham, to me, was a very credible public servant. He had to sit there and take it from somebody like Adam Schiff, who that very day is being censured by the House for perpetrating the whole thing. He talked about how he spent 4 years away from his family dealing with this thing, and he has to imagine because of you. And now you are in a position of power in the House in order to question me. Adam Schiff loved this today, and the House members were helping him to basically raise a lot of small dollar money. He's in a primary, in a fight in California. He wants to get that Senate seat that Dianne Feinstein is likely going to vacate, or the one that they hoped to be able to win. All of those guys have to be looking at this going, wow, Adam Schiff is the one who's going to come out on top of this thing on the Democratic side. I mean, that is just Washington, D.C. for you.
Tulsi, before these hearings, how does this work? Do the staff get together? They come up with these talking points? Do the members get together and stay on message? Is there a strategy here?
That's what happens every time. And that's why you see the lines of attack. They actually do go through that preparation and they figure out, OK, who's going to take this line of attack? Who's going to take this other line of attack so that they're not all saying the exact same thing, but they're all going back to the same major point, which is a reminder to all of us of the power of the Hillary Clinton machine that extends across the national security state, the propaganda media, big tech. It's a reminder of the Democrats' playbook I've had some experience with of refusing to address substance and evidence and instead immediately going towards smear and destruction and outright saying, we will destroy your reputation. They're not making any, there's no qualms about exactly what their objective is. And I agree with him. Yes, accountability is what's necessary here. I have no faith that it will occur for the reasons that Dana talked about, and especially under the Biden administration. I think what really needs to happen, again, I agree with Durham, you can't just nibble around the edges with the FBI. They're so endemically corrupt and politicized at this point. There needs to be a top-to-bottom overhaul or just disband the FBI and come up with a new agency and start fresh and charge people with the actual responsibility the FBI should be fulfilling.
It's hard to get accountability because Durham never even interviewed Comey, never subpoenaed McCabe, never subpoenaed Glenn Simpson. I wonder why.
I don't know. This is the problem. Will historians actually write this fairly? Because this is somebody they truly despised, right? Today's historians despise Trump. They're just going to get older and write more books. So no matter what happens here, the truth is never going to get out. And I think that's, it's kind of a depressing story in the way that, Republicans really aren't good at this. Because politics isn't personal for them, so they can't do the theater the way the Democrats do. And so what you watched today was kind of an oh-hum. It wasn't that exciting. When you aren't a liberal, scandals, they just don't work for you. You know what I mean? The press controls the outcome. The Dems do political theater better than anybody else. And you even have Adam Schiff gets to grill the actual investigator. Yeah. How is that possible? It's an amazing thing. I'm jaded. I guess I'm jaded. How do you have accountability when so many people are in on it? Mm-hmm. That's the problem. And I do think it would be great to see the FBI disbanded, but I can't believe I would say that. Yeah. Because I used to watch FBI. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., remember? That's how I learned Roman letters. Was it Roman letters? Remember each part segment would go part one? All right, thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, but I love that show, and now we're like, everything that the Democrats touch undermines it.
But one was television, and now you know the facts.
Yeah, unfortunately. I prefer TV.
Me too.
But the FBI, the left used to want to disband the FBI. Yeah. And now the right does, and then maybe they can agree on that. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, now they're
I don't know.
Jaded,
you don't know.
like
no one on cable news ever says that. You're brave.
I don't know.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.